Ian.
Patrick.
Do you have a disorder, Ian?
I have a lot of disorders.
Do you have the gaming disorder?
I don't believe so, no.
According to the World Health Organization, we talked about this at least once before.
Mm-hmm.
Gaming disorder is now a recognized illness, according to the WHO. They decided to add gaming disorder to its list of recognized illnesses. The 194 members of the group made a decision today at the 72nd World Health Assembly. It sounds like a hot time. I wonder what the after parties are like at the WHO.
A lot of moderate drinking.
A lot of moderate drinking.
Yeah.
No, they go off, WHO. They agreed to adopt the 11th revision of the International Statistical Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems, known as ICD-11.
All right, I'll read what this is.
What qualifies, Ian?
A pattern of persistent or recurrent gaming behavior, digital gaming or video gaming, which may be online, over the internet, or offline, manifested by 1. Impaired control over gaming, e.g. onset, frequency, intensity, duration, termination, and context. 2. Increasing priority given to gaming to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other life interests and daily activities. And 3. Continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. The behavior pattern is of sufficient severity to result in significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, or other important areas of functioning.
And that's really, when you talk about...
It's an addictive
disorder. Any addictive disorder.
Disorder.
Drinking, drugs, sex. Whenever it starts screwing up with your main, we'll just say the important parts of life. There's things more important than video games out there. Don't do another attack video on us. When your family and personal life and your friendships all suffer. When you can't hold down a job anymore, or a decent job, or you're having trouble, then we got a problem.
And that would go, and yeah, it's not just gaming. That would go for any hobby, anything.
Yes.
If you're into model boats and all you do is build model boats and don't bathe and leave your family alone, it's a problem as well.
Is there a model boat pod? I want to get into model boats. It sounds very relaxing. Building model boats, and you get them up with your RC on the.
Legos are relaxing.
Legos are relaxing.
Yeah.
I want to get into model boats when I get into my 60s. I decided that. Right
Gonna
now.
get a pond in the backyard.
Get a pond, castle country, get a moat.
A moat.
So obviously people online were derisive about this. It's like, oh, I've gaming cancer. No, it's not something to make light of if this affects a certain amount of people to the extent where they lose a job or, you know, it was funny where the one picture I saw, it was like a drawn like GTA style picture of this guy playing a video game with his hot girlfriend in the background, like looking like, what are you doing? With though a poster of a bikini girl behind the guy playing the video game. It was literally like a GTA parody thing. I'm just gonna say this: the likelihood of a guy having a hot girlfriend lessens more and more if you have bikini posters on your wall. It's just a general correlation, I believe, inverse correlation. It was just a funny picture. I should have downloaded it. Where did I see that? It was just funny. That picture, but it was the quintessential, hey, have sex with me, stop playing video games. And not saying that's a common occurrence, that's definitely an occurrence though.
Sure.
That's probably happened in relationships where someone shows an interest in a video game versus their significant other and takes them for granted.
So this could apply to sports fandom, game fandom, etc. My question is there I mean, I know there's sex addiction that they talk about, but are there names for other ones? My thing is, why does this one get singled out for its own disorder as part, instead of just being part of like an addictive personality disorder? Is there the one I'm asking, is there a similar entry for, say, sports addiction?
Well, you can Google it, Ian. But this is why I think they classify them, because then they can have a better plan of attack to react to it. They can say,
sure,
this is how we deal with people specifically who play video games too much. We can have treatments and we can have programs designed just for them versus someone who, I don't know, Ian, watches too much sports or you know what I mean? Like, there's different ways you can do it. And I think, to me, the main difference between, if you want to say sports fans and this, is that with sports, there's specific times you watch them and not. With video games, it can be 24 hours. It can be people that play for days on end, that's not something that hasn't happened. It's happened. People have died in gaming parlors who have, over in Asia who have played games for multiple days and they just fucking drop dead because they get an embolism in their legs. They've been sitting too long.
Sure.
This has happened. And I think that's why.
Yeah, I looked it up. I don't see any. I mean, there's lots of sports addiction help sites and whatnot, but I don't see anything from the World Health Organization.
And I think because in some countries, we spoke about like in South Korea where they have like gaming parlors that
Sure.
people, you have to drag them out like opium dens. I think that's the difference. I think with video games, it can be all encapsulating. It's more interactive than say watching sports. You get caught up on it easier. And there are some games designed to keep you playing. I think that's the other big difference here. So from that instance, you could say, well, it's a drug at some point. Some particular games I brought up in the past, any sort of game where you have to be online a certain time, like in a guild or a clan, World of Warcraft. My sister's ex had to be online every Tuesday night, every Saturday afternoon. Well, what if your significant other doesn't want that? What if they say, this is bullshit now, spend time with me, let's go out, let's do something. And no, I gotta be playing this fucking game with my clan, with my guild now.
I mean, frankly, if it's a one Tuesday a week thing, that's fine. You can make schedules and work on each other's schedules. But the fact of the matter is, it's never just a Tuesday night for these people.
Yeah, they got to practice. I get together. It's a social thing. It becomes ingrained in their existence, and that's why, again, I think they signaled it out here. So let's see. It's a big, according to this article on Kotaku, classification and recognition of gaming disorder is a big step forward in the debate surrounding gaming addiction. Recently, members of the U.S. Congress began creating legislation to ban addictive loot boxes, which we spoke about, which is straight up gambling, even though they try to. Oh, of course, the ESA didn't like this. The ESA was like, no, this is crazy having this. It's like, come on, man. You're making tons of fucking money.
Yeah.
You can at least admit that maybe some people might have an addictive problem with video games. Not everyone, but maybe some. The ESA, I'm more and more, to me, it's looking like the tobacco industry. The people trying to deny that, well, no, there's no problem at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Cancer, emphysema? No, loot boxes aren't gambling. What the?
Yeah.
You're being overprotective. Then eventually it comes crashing down when it hurts inside. No, I just said that.
I don't know.
I don't make Hogan references. All right. What do you think, Ian? Do you think? Well, let's ask you this: do you know anyone that you think could have classified as being addicted to games to this level?
Yeah. At a point in time, I think there were people that I knew that could be classified as that. Including a close friend. I never lost contact with them. It was like, I think that was like the one thing I could get them to do every week was to get out, go to the club, go have some breakfast.
Up in the club.
And it wasn't like crazy bad, but this was a person. I don't know anyone who was like real bad, but this was a guy who would get home, pop on Final Fantasy XI, and that's what he did until the morning. Go back to work, get home
Until the morning.
Yeah.
So he stayed up all night.
Yeah, he would often stay up, all night. But he overcame it. But yeah, the situation I see it mostly in is online RPGs.
MMORPGs?
MMORPGs. And over time, I have softened to the idea that, yes, there is an addictive quality to video games for some people. I'm not completely there yet, but there's something about that. You have to keep these real world online video game relationships up, but there's also I think what really does it with MMORPGs is when you're playing with a group of people, you all want to stay the same level. So if you drop off for a day, you don't keep up with the rest of your pack, and to keep up with the rest of your pack, you have to be playing constantly.
And plus, there's social mores within these communities online. It's its own social group. You don't want people to look down on you. Well, you didn't show up to to whatever the fucking bat hitting cave adventure last week. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like whatever.
Right.
Like why weren't you there? You get shamed. I read an article from about a kid who used to be like in this World War II online game clan where it was run like a military unit.
Oh, there was an article recently on that.
Did you read that?
Yeah, I read little bits and pieces of it where, it was basically like they ran it like a military regiment. I can't remember which game.
So you had to show up.
Yeah.
You had to. The kid ran home from school to practice this first person shooter game.
Yeah.
It's insane. I'm not saying that you don't have the right to do that, but at some point it takes over. It just takes over. And then if you can function in your life with the game taking that much time, that's fine. But the moment that it doesn't, the moment that like you lose your job, or your friends don't hear from you anymore, or your family, then it's a problem at that point. Then it becomes an issue there. I've seen it with a few people. With me, the closest it probably got was Unreal Tournament wasn't every day. It was a few times a week back in the mid 2000s. I played it a lot, though. I was in a clan at one point. And it got to the point, though, where it was just like, well, I always try to think, well, long term, what is this doing? And not saying I dropped it cold turkey, but I was like, to me, it became just a waste of time after a while, because I was not doing other things I wanted to do that I could have. And so then I just got out of it, just slowly dissipated. And then the last time you blow up that rocket launcher, and then that's it. You're done. Or shoot that flat cannon into someone's face. All right, anything else to add, Ian?
No.
Am I addicted to gaming collecting disorder? Is that a disorder yet?
We'll see how much you get rid of in the summer.